According to the Guinness World Records at www.guinnessworldrecords.com, published in 2002, the most valuable tooth belonged to Sir Isaac Newton in 1816. One of his tooths was sold in London for $3,633, or in today's terms, $35,700. The tooth was set into a ring, actually. Though the price of the tooth is ridiculous, it's even more ridiculous how important our teeth are to our everyday health. I have the credibility to talk over this topic due to my extensive research as well as living in a household where my mom is the manager over this practice. Today, I'll be sharing my experience that I had with South Texas periodontal practice. I will be elaborating on the backgrounds of South Texas periodontal, describe some of the duties that I did there, as well as reflect on the experience that I had there. Now for some information over South Texas periodontal practice as a whole. This section will overview South Texas periodontal. Periodontal health is found for your smile. South Texas Periodontal Associates take pride in providing their patients with cutting-edge treatment in a friendly and compassionate environment. There are 3 periodontists who all received extensive postgraduate training in the fields of periodontics and implant dentistry. They have over 60 years of combined experience. South Texas Periodontal makes it a priority to educate their patients so that they have all the knowledge necessary to make good decisions regarding their dental health. They also work closely with their patient's general dentist, as well as work together to achieve a healthy, beautiful smile. According to the SouthTexasPerio.com, there are 4 main treatments at South Texas Periodontal: periodontics, oral surgery, oral health, and cosmetic dentistry. Now that I have given you a little background on South Texas Periodontal, let's move on to my experience there. Now, I'll inform you on the duties that I performed at South Texas Periodontal. Though my service hours weren't spent trying to plant trees or anything of that sort, my service hours still had a lot to do with the deforestation problem I've talked about in my previous speeches. The first hour of my 4 was spent stuffing envelopes and sorting them into 3 piles. The 3 piles were split into billing, payroll, and seasonal reminders set out for the patients. Following, I sealed the envelopes, stamped them all, as well as mailed them off. The next 2 hours I spent were focused on filing information over patients as well as reorganizing file cabinets. Not the most fun thing to do, but I organized them A to Z, oldest to youngest patient. The last hour that I spent was mainly just cleaning up the office, wiping down countertops and cleaning bathrooms. I even needed to mop the floors because they were disgusting. According to the www.ncbi.gov, waste management is one of the most key ecological challenges of the modern world. As dental practices, we must recognize that one of our materials and procedures we use to provide dental health service may present challenges to the environment. This right here is just one example of the growing problem of human wastefulness of something like trees. Now that you know how I've spent my hours, I'll reflect on the experience as a whole. Here I will reflect on the service that I did. Though my service hours were spent in a stuffy office, I still have the problem with deforestation at mine the entire time. For starters, I immediately saw how wasteful health offices are with paper. Not only do they have about 5 to 20 pieces of paper per folder for each patient, on top of that, they sometimes print out 2 per page for the important documents so that they can have a backup. This is crazy amounts of paper being used considering that they have thousands of patients and there's thousands of offices across the world. Though they probably do need all their files, it just was a shock to me how much paper they needed. Though my long 4 hours of office sitting doing various tasks, I learned something. Ultimately, only you can personally change your way of using your paper. If you make a conscious effort to use less, you will. It's simple as that. Today, I've shared my experience I had through South Texas periodontal practice. I elaborated on the background of South Texas periodontal. I described some of the duties that I did there, as well as reflected on the experience that I had there. So don't forget to always brush your teeth and to never sell a tooth for never buy a tooth for $35,700. Thank you.